Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into something quite intriguing. We've got these excerpts from a source called Fraternal Feud, John and Dick's Weekend Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And our mission, really, is to unpack the dynamics between these two brothers, John and Dick, what's driving them as they head into this weekend of, well, physical and mental challenges. The source, it jumps right in, sets the scene. We meet John first. He's the older brother, and the description is pretty stark. The most talented and good-looking.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the kicker, the thing that just hangs over everything.
Yeah.
He always wins.
Wow. Yeah.
Quite the setup, isn't it?
It really is. Always wins.
Definitely.
That's a heavy statement right off the bat.
Totally. Then there's Dick. He's described as a doctor, though not a real doctor. But, it says he has his own unique talents, too. So it feels like this isn't just some weekend game.
Yeah.
It's deeper, like a long-running power dynamic playing out.
Yeah, that's what immediately jumps out. John's position seems almost unshakable from the description. He's not just a winner, he's always the winner. Plus, this ideal image, right? Talented, good-looking. It completely frames Dick's challenge. He's not just up against John's skill, he's up against John's whole reputation, this legend.
Right.
And that phrase, doctor, though not a real doctor, it's so interesting. Like, what does that imply? Maybe something about how Dick sees himself or how he thinks others see him, especially next to John.
Yeah, like maybe his own achievements don't feel real enough compared to John just being John.
Exactly. It adds this whole other layer to his motivation, What's he really trying to prove?
Absolutely. That line about his job, it really colors things. But then the text drops another detail, something that complicates it even more.
Yeah.
Even with John always winning and Dick having his own skills, it mentions Dick recently had shoulder surgery.
Okay.
And here's the twist. It wasn't just like for general health. The source says it was specifically to try to get an edge on John.
Wow. Okay. So he physically altered himself.
Seems like it. I mean, that's taking it way beyond just wanting to win a game, surely.
Oh, absolutely. That's surgical dedication. It's not just training, it's re-engineering. Yeah, that shoulder operation, it speaks volumes. It's not just about being physically ready. It's this really profound, almost a desperate sign of his determination, a real physical attempt to change the story, to disrupt the narrative of John always winning.
To break the pattern.
Exactly. For Dick, this clearly isn't just about scoring points. It's about something much deeper. Redefining the whole relationship, maybe. It really makes you think, what does it mean to go to such length when your opponent seems to have everything stacked in his favor? And the sources say the competition is just about to kick off. And it adds, it should be exciting, especially if John lets Dick win occasionally.
Ah, see that line. If John lets Dick win occasionally, that just changes everything again, doesn't it? That's the real mic drop.
It really is.
Because it suggests the competition itself might be, well, not entirely real. Or at least John controls its reality.
Right. It implies John doesn't just have the physical edge, but this huge psychological advantage, too. The power to decide the outcome, to even grant the illusion of a fair fight.
Yeah. So John's dominance isn't just talent. It's maybe something more deliberate, calculated even.
It forces you to reevaluate everything. When you look at this whole picture, this unique rivalry, that subtle power play is central. In a rivalry that's gone on this long where one guy always wins and apparently might even allow the other to win sometimes. What does competition even mean anymore?
What are they actually competing for?
Exactly. And what does it tell us about them? About John the winner? Is he just playing a different game altogether? One about control, maybe, not just victory? And Dick, striving so hard, going through surgery, is he just desperate for a win on the scoreboard, or is it something more? Like proving his effort matters, self-mastery?
Recognition, perhaps.
Perhaps. It leaves you with this big question. Is the ultimate win here about the final score, or is it tangled up in something much more profound about who gets to define the terms, who gets acknowledged, and what counts as trying?